emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics. Hello and welcome to the Final Order Report, your last chance to get in on upcoming comics before they head to print and the numbers are locked in. I'm Dan Merritt, Chief Purchasing Officer at Green Brain Comics, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on what hits our shelves starting on Wednesday, October 1st, and what you need to pre-order by this Monday at noon, that's September 8th. Green Brain Comics and the Final Order Report are proudly powered by Comichub. Check out Comichub online at comichub.com or download the mobile app for Android and iPhone. Create an account or access your existing account to pay securely online, ensuring you never miss an issue. Today I'll be using Comichub to showcase items from this week's Last Call for Confirmed Orders Carousel. Let's show you that real quick. So once you sign in, and let me back up here. Once you sign in, you see the following banners, aside items behind the orange banner. That's everything you have in store for you or in your cart, waiting for you to pay for and pick up or ship. Behind the green banner is everything that we will be showing you today in these really cool little carousels. First from the top, you got searches, you got search items with preview pages, which is kind of cool, and then search arriving soon. That's everything that's hitting the shelf this Wednesday, September 10th. Below that is the search orders due Sunday. That's Last Call. That's the one we'll be using today, except for I pushed my deadline back to Monday at noon. And below that is search events. That's all crossovers that are coming up that you won't want to miss out on. So let's go back to the search orders due Sunday for Last Call. And once you enter there, you see everything is now scrollable. And you also have some filters up at the top. On the red buttons is alphanumeric by title. And then you have drop down for publisher, category, and brand, etc. We got all kinds of options for you to find this great stuff. And the first thing that we'll be showing you today is, first off, I'd like to thank Klezmergeddon and BRAINSCAN Productions for providing us with the music on today's program. And the first thing that we will be looking at today on Last Call is Small Press Comics. Let's start out with Archie Halloween Spectacular. This is a one-shot scheduled for release on October 1st, 48 pages with a $7.99 cover price, featuring an all-new spooky story and 30 pages of terrifying tales. It's the official comic book of Halloween with this Dan Parent cover, and we got this cool retro Bob White cover. Monster mashup. It's a real monster mashup. That's Archie's Halloween Spectacular one-shot. Over at Mad Cave, we get a debut of a new series by Justin Jordan and featuring art by Patrick Piazzalunga. This is Gunpowder Prophets, Death in Texas. Huck and Marley help people for money. Well, in theory anyways. For some reason, their help always seems to involve massive amounts of property damage. A somehow guaranteed collision with the supernatural, and if Marley has his way, a huge body count. They're the Gunpowder Prophets, and a simple job rescuing a girl from a backwoods cult turns weird when the super groovy leader's supernatural power turned out to be very, very real. This is from Mad Cave, Justin Jordan, Patrick Piazzalunga, available on October 1st from Mad Cave Studios. Got an A cover by interior artist Patrick Piazzalunga and a B cover from Jorge Corona. Very swell. Over at Sumerian Comics, we get a volume 2 of Astrobots from Simon Furman and Philip Knott, who did this A cover. We got a B cover from Don Figueroa? Sure. A C from Reza Ilyasa, and a D cover from Hector Trunik. How many more of those I got? I think that's everything. It's Astrobots Volume 2, Number 1. Disavowed, Number 1 from Massive Devil's Due. This is interesting. Devil's Due being put out through Sumerian. Disavowed Number 1 is written by Josh Blaylock with art by Pop Mon and an A cover by Michael Golden. What? Michael Golden still doing covers? This has got a stellar lineup of comic talent, including contributions from Michael Golden, Tim Seeley, Steve Kurth, Dave Johnson, Adam Riches, Travis Himmel, Carlos Badia, Sean DePascal, all kinds of folks, and it's got some swell covers, not only by that Michael Golden, but Steve Kurth, Travis Himmel, nice boys tribute, Tim Seeley homage to G.I. Joe, Disavowed Number 1, October 8th. HasCon Number 1 from Sumerian Comics and whatever that publisher is. Debut issue of the brand new sci-fi series with superhero adventure. It's HasCon, written by Kenny Messnerd and featuring art by Ka Zhang, Brian Valenza, and Donnie Hadid. Yeah, Donnie H. It's HasCon Number 1, Donnie H cover. A C cover from Aaron Bartling. HasCon Number 1, October 22nd. Over at Titan Publishing, we get a new Little Nightmares miniseries. This is a 4-part series entitled Descent to Nowhere. Based on the best-selling horror game Little Nightmares. New comic series launching at the same time as Little Nightmares 3, the game. The world of award-winning Little Nightmares as you've never seen it before. This series is written by Lonnie Nadler, the narrative director of Little Nightmares, with art by Ringo Award-nominating artist Dennis Monheer. We got all kinds of cool covers. A from Vanessa Del Rey. A B cover from Damian Worm. A concept cover by interior artist. No, just a concept cover. Full art cover. A blank sketch cover in red. All for Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere. Yeah. Oh, I think this is a Sweeney Boo cover, I think is what's up. Yeah. Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere Number 1, available on October 8th from Titan Publishing. Over at Udon Entertainment, we get a new hair-covered mini-series featuring Street Fighter's Masters Zangief. This is probably a one-shot and features the mighty mass of muscle known as Zangief. Stars in his own one-shot adventures. The Russian Red Cyclone teams up with fellow wrestler Rainbow Micah for the match of his career, but will even Zangief's relentless training regimen be enough to take on the dastardly team of Necro and Pietra? This is written by Chris Saracena with interior art by Matthew Weldon and this cover by Genzo Man. A B cover from Matthew Weldon. 32 pages for $4.99, available on October 29th. Get your orders in by this Monday. Hello, Halloween. Trick or treat yourself to a fresh batch of nightmares. Dare you turn the page? The hit anthology series returns with another chilling installment of bone-rattling horror. Terrifying new tales arrive just in time to haunt your seasonal reading list, featuring top-tier talent and a can't-miss brand new Graveyard Club story from horror master R.L. Stine and artist Carola Borelli. This Boom Studios one-shot is 40 pages for a $5.99 cover price, with this A cover by Fraser Irving. I think I'm in love. Fraser Irving is an amazing artist, and I wish we had more work from him. Got a B cover from Drew Rausch, and a C cover, full art by Jeremy Bastian. Here's when we really put this zoom function into overdrive. Check out this beautiful penmanship from Mr. Jeremy Bastian, who just happened to stop by on Free Comic Book Day at Green Brain Comics just this last year. It was great to see him, and great to see he's still doing some fantastic cover work over at Boom Studios. Hello Halloween, cover C. We got a Boom 20th anniversary variant by Drew Frizen. And the Drew Rausch. Wait. I said Drew Frizen. This is Jenny Frizen. I used all my words. And then finally, we got this glow-in-the-dark variant featuring the art of Drew Rausch. This is a couple extra bucks. 40 pages for $7.99. Hello Halloween #1, available on October 22nd. Cutting it a little close there, Boom. All right. Moving over to Dark Horse Comics, we've got the new, this is the first miniseries from their Dungeons and Dragons license. This will be exciting to see what they can do with this license. In the time of fickle gods and feckless governors, the world yearns for heroes, but what it gets are the fallbacks. A party of daring, dubious, and dysfunctional adventurers who arrive in the city of Loudwater in search of gold and glory. But an encounter with kobold thieves puts the fallbacks in the crosshairs of a rival team of deadly, annoying local heroes. Will the fallbacks pull off a heist for the ages, or will they sacrifice it all to put these heroes in their place? Greg Pak, the hit author of Planet Hulk, Darth Vader, and Lawful, shows off his Dungeon Master bona fides in this brand new D&D Adventures, featuring art from Wilton Santos on interiors, and this A cover by Marguerite Sauvage. This very nice cover from Uzuri. Also from Uzuri, the cover C. A cover D from Steven Segovia. And a Dan Panosian cover on E, all for Dungeons & Dragons, The Fallbacks #1, available on October 15th. If you're interested in any of these variants, make sure to get them in to us at the counter on email or through Comic Hub. Over at Dynamite, we get a bunch of covers for this new #1 crossover. This is Harley Quinn crossing over with Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark, meets Daddy's Little Monster. What happens when the clown princess of crime gets bored? Shenanigans, hijinks, grievous body harm. The possibilities are endless. Now add in a certain macabre-minded TV host who seems to attract trouble like Crips attract vampires, and the stage is set for the greatest team-up since Frankenstein meets his bride. With her beloved show on the chopping block following a corporate takeover, Elvira needs to come up with a plan to get things back in the black, and her new friend Harley Quinn has an idea that's just crazy enough to work. This new series is written by the award-winning team of Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor, with interior art by Juan Samu and Amanda Connor, and has an A cover also by Amanda Connor. These These issues are 32 pages for $4.99, available on October 1st. You could special order these covers. Got a Chad Hardin cover on B, Joseph Michael Linsner, Ben Caldwell. Look, we got a Mark Spears variant. All for Harley Quinn crossing over with Elvira, available on October 1st. Ooh, look at this. IDW Dark's imprint brings back 30 Days of Night in this new series entitled Falling Sun. IDW's hit horror franchise returns. I already recapped that. The town of Barrow has moved on. Those who remember the vampiric terror of 2 decades past would rather not talk about it. Those who don't remember don't believe the stories. Ignorance will be their downfall, because a dark memory is stirring in the heart of Romania and has set its sights on Barrow, the death place of Vincente. This new series is written by Rodney Barnes and features art by Chris Sheehan. And they welcome you back to Barrow in the oversized first issue of this revival, 48 pages for $5.99 cover price. Available on October 15th with this Chris Sheehan cover and a B cover by Damian Worm. Oh, that's very nice. They're piercing my head. It's 30 Days of Night, Falling Sun, #1. Ooh, IDW also gives us a new printing of Event Horizon Dark Descent #1. That series, that issue did really well for us, but we still got some copies on the shelf. So if you want this cover by Christian Ward, please send us the orders. We also get a new series premiere from the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is under the Nickelodeon banner, New Tales of the TMNT, based on the newest Ninja Turtles animated series. When Donatello is invited to a prestigious robotics camp for genius kids, he's excited to build Metalhead and compete for the camp's prize for best robot. This series is written by Mickey Levitt and features art by Louis Joyce, who did this A cover. We get a B cover from Chalky Wong. That's his real name. It's Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, available on October 15th. All right, now we just got one debut series from Image Comics this week, and that is a doozy. It's a story about the stories that shape us and the powers they still hold, from writer Frank J. Barbiere and artist Morgan Beam. We get author immortal. Hector Ramirez is a failed writer who gets the opportunity of a lifetime to help reboot the fantasy book series that defined his childhood. But when he discovers the original author has mysteriously vanished into his fictional world, Hector is pulled into a realm where stories are alive and some are willing to kill to stay in control. This book features pretty fantastic art by Morgan Beam, who delivers this great watercolored cover. And we got a B cover from Yuko Shimizu, which is beautiful and terrifying. It's author immortal #1 from Image Comics, Frank J. Barbiere and Morgan Beam art. All right, that does it for the smaller press. Let's get back here. So yeah, since we only had the one Image book, we skipped right past that. And let's jump on over to DC Comics. And the first DC Comics today is another return. And this is a return to Gotham Academy, first year, #1. The school has secrets. So does she. It's going great. Olive Silverlock has a problem, and it is shaped like Gotham's favorite hero, Batman. He saved her when her mom lost control and got Commissioner Gordon to pawn her off on Bruce Wayne, who promptly shuffled her off to Gotham Academy. It's a boarding school. This new series is written by original series creators Becky Cloonan, Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kerschel, and features interior art by Marco Ferreri, and we get an A cover from Carl Kerschel, a B cover from Dustin Nguyen. Keep in mind these are cardstock covers which carry a extra $1 cover price, a Sweeney Boo cover, all for Gotham Academy first year number 1, available on October 1st. We also get another sequel here. This is Joker Harley Malicious Intent. The sequel to Joker Harley Criminal Insanity is here. 1 year after defeating the Joker, Harley is still hunting serial killers. Just not in the city she used to protect. She burned her association with the GCPD and Lieutenant Jim Gordon, and now works with vigilantes to seek a very different kind of justice. From original series creator Cami Garcia, with art by Miko Soyan. This is Joker Harley Malicious Intent, 1 of 4, 48 pages for $6.99. I'm guessing this is going to be in the black label format, available on October 8th. Get a cardstock. No, these are all going to be cardstock. Yeah, so this is a C cover from art by Fantuan Dat. Joker Harley Malicious Intent also has a Riley Rossmo cover for the D, and it will be available on October 8th. Yeah. All right. Now DC's got a bunch of other stuff happening here. This is Absolute Evil, a one-shot to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Absolute Universe, and its villains stand united. Without heroes, without protection, without restraint, there is only absolute evil. The emergence of superheroes has caught the attention of the world, and it's certainly caught the attention of the people who run it. Ra's al Ghul, Veronica Cale, Eleanor Thawne, Hector Hammond, and the mysterious Joker have worked at cross purposes until now, but this growing threat requires new ways of thinking and new partnerships. An insidious betrayal from within their ranks is imminent, and if they don't take action, they'll lose control of a planet that was built to be their playground. Superstar writer Al Ewing and artist Giuseppe Camuncoli join forces to kickstart the next era of Absolute Universe stories with several shocking new character reveals and one big unmissable twist. Untwistable miss. Absolute Evil number 1 features outstanding covers by interior artist Giuseppe Camuncoli, Fabrizio Di Tommaso, Gerald Perel. Nice pinstripe suit there. Dustin Nguyen, a Riley Rossmo cardstock variant, and a foil version of that as well for $8.99. And a blank cardstock variant, all for Absolute Evil number 1. This is a one-shot set to go on the shelves October 1st. 40 pages for $5.99. See you there. Next up, it's all been leading to this. Well, half of it's been leading to this. A special oversized prologue to DC's biggest event of the year. Everything since DC All-In Special number 1 has been building to this moment. Time Trapper is on the run from Darkseid's Legion. Racing through time to learn how to stop Darkseid's conquest, he witnesses how the future is already lost, and the only hope for survival lies with the Justice League. The Time Trapper has a plan to save the DCU, but it means making an impossible offer to the League. from writer Joshua Williamson and interior artist Yasmin Putri. This is Justice League, the Omega Act Special. This is a one-shot with an A cover, 48 pages, $5.99. This A cover is by Jorge Fornes. Cardstock variants for $1 extra by Kyung Yom, Fernando Blanco, Salvador LaRocca. Available on October 1st. And that leads into the big one. Here it is. It's DCKO. DC's major 2025 event is here. I know we talked about the blind bag last week, but this is on the next regular schedule. Let's see. Welcome you. Scott Snyder and Javier Fernandez welcome you to the slugfest of the century. The Heart of Apocalypse has transformed Earth into a hellscape in preparation for the return of Darkseid. The end of the DCU is here. The Justice League's only chance to defeat Darkseid is to enter a deadly tournament. An epic and over-the-top battle royale that will surprise you. The world's greatest heroes fight to become the champion, to enter the ring against Darkseid. But here's the catch. The closer you get to the Heart of Apocalypse, the more it corrupts you, changes you into something dangerous. Which DC character has what it takes to make it to the end? Who is willing to do what it takes to win it all, even if it means taking down their friends and family? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts! DCKO number 1 is scheduled for October 8th. 48 pages for $5.99 with this Javier Fernandez cover on A. Cardstock variants for $1 extra from Jim Lee. Daniel Warren Johnson, who is outstanding. Frank Cho. Mike Del Mundo. Ben Oliver. This is a Dan Mora. Let's get this up. Yep, that did it. This is a Dan Mora bracket card stock variant. Take that off. Hope I can. I did that time. Okay, next up, we got the Mark Spears Darkseid card stock variant. A Dan Mora AEW crossover variant. And a Scott Koblish DC Showcase wraparound foil variant for $24.99. You won't be seeing any copies of that on the shelf. If you want it, let me know. I'd be happy to get that for you. It's DCKO number 1, available on October 8th from DC Comics. And that there wraps up DC Comics. Let's move on over to Marvel Comics on this week's final order report. And the first thing we'll show you today is spinning straight out of the pages of Imperial. As the events of Imperial explode in fatal fashion, the Super Skrull finds himself at the center of a seditious scheme with consequences that will be felt by the entire cosmos. But he's not the only superpower looking for answers. An unlikely team is on the hunt to avert disaster before galactic order is lost for good. It's Imperial War, Imperial Guardians. I'm guessing this is a one-shot and is written by Dan Abnett. Look at that. With art by Corey Smith and this A cover by Francesco Mortarino. A Doali cover. That's kind of cool. Michelle Bandini. All for Imperial War, Imperial Guardians number 1, October 8th. Here's a new interesting series. I'm sorry, one shot. This is purely a one shot. Face front horror fans, it's October. You know what that means. It's the season for ghouls, goblins, and other horrifying haunts. And unfortunately for your favorite heroes and villains, but frightfully fortunate for you out there in Marveldom, the Marvel U is far from immune to the effects of this time of year. First, we get a story by Al Ewing and Kev Walker featuring Blade. Then we got G. Willow Wilson and Devmalia Pramanik and their story from The Daywalker. But wait, you got an Iron Man story from Chris Condon. That's awesome. And you get an A cover from EM Gist on this 40-page one-shot, cover price of $5.99. Got a Derek Chew variant, nice Blade variant there, and that's Greg Land. Joshua Cassera, I'm digging that. That's pretty good. Wish I could zoom out a little bit. It's Marvel Black, White, and Blood and Guts. One shot available October 8th. Then we get the new Marvel Knights release of The Punisher. The World to Come expands. One of the other pillars of the Marvel Knights enters the fray with The Punisher. How did Frank get from the killer of killers you know to the man you met in the world to come? Marvel Knights co-founder Jimmy Palmiotti and artist extraordinary Dan Panosian treat you to one of the most savage comics ever. Marvel Knights Punisher #1 features this fantastic wraparound cover by Dan Panosian. This Ben Harvey variant, lots of action and explosions in that one. Marvel Knights Punisher #1, October 8th. Also October 8th is the return to Planet Hulk. Gamma irradiated gladiatorial action on Planet Hulk. All new story. Green blood will flow and sparks will fly. After escaping to Red King's deadly arena, Hulk faces ferocious monsters and smashes his way through malicious machines and wild robotic terrors in one of his most important battles of survival on the war-torn planet of Sakaar. This one-shot is written by Greg Pak with art by Greg Carlo Pagulayan, who did that A cover. A B cover from David Paratore. It's Return to Planet Hulk. This one shot is 32 pages, $4.99, available on October 8th. I'm going to assume it's a one shot. We're assuming here. Hey, look, it's Strange Tales. Roll the dice if you dare. It's Halloween, and Nico Minoru joins her girlfriend Carolina Dean and friends Teddy Altman and Billy Kaplan for a rousing round of RPG who's gows and hydras. But when the dice roll leads to goblins materializing in real life and her friends all disappearing, Nico Minoru is soon left running through NYC's streets with a very real dragon hot on her tail. From writer Jeremy Whitley and interior artist Bailey Underwood, we get this A cover from interior artist Bailey Underwood. That's very nice. Strange Tales. Get an Annie Wu variant. And Gretel Lusky. That's kind of cool. I like the sword with Scarlet Witch. She needs a sword. It's Strange Tales #1, available on October 8th. All right, here. We started talking about these titles last week, but we're getting lots more on FOC this week. The world outside your window is gone. 10 years later, what happened to the Fantastic Four, and what horrors plague the East Coast? How does the rest of the world survive the rise of Revelation? And far above on Arakko, what does Apocalypse think of his heir's new empire? Discover the far-reaching impact of Age of Revelation across the Marvel Universe. I think this is a one-shot. From writer Ryan North with art by Augustin Alessio. And this A cover looks by Phil Noto. Get a cover by Carlos Magno, which is really nice. I like that. Giada Belviso. CF Via on this promo variant. And Ricky Yagawa character variant. All for World of Revelation by Ryan North and Augustin Alessio. This one, I believe, is a two-part series. X-Men Book of Revelations #1. The Game of Power commences. X years later, after the assassination of one of his prized choristers, Revelation welcomes a new mutant to his capital city of Philadelphia. But the capital of Revelation Territories hides many dangers, not the least of which are her rival choristers and Fabian Cortez, who will allow no one to challenge him from Revelation's favor. Oh, this copy. This series is written by Jed McKay with interior art by Nitho Diaz, who does this A cover. Marcus Toe Revelation variant. Ricky Yagawa character. X-Men Book of Revelation #1, October 22nd. Now we get into the replacement titles. This is going to be replacing the standard, the eponymous X-Men series. Amazing X-Men. Hope they survive the experience. X years later, on the run after a deadly clash with Revelation's chief assassin, the shattered X-Men desperately gamble everything on one last mission. With help from an unexpected ally, they venture into the haunted ruins of Greymalkin. When they find what they find there may change everything if they survive. Amazing X-Men #1 is written by Jed McKay with interior art and this cover by Mahmoud Asrar. A B cover from Samford Green and a Miguel Mercado Revelation variant. It's Amazing X-Men #1, October 8th, replacing the eponymous X-Men series for however long this goes on. Also replacing the Phoenix series is Binary. This is Binary, and the universe burns with her. X years later, in the ashes of the old world to survive, she is reborn, a cosmic force channeling the Phoenix itself. With the universe crumbling, Binary returns to save what's left. But power this great always comes with a price, and the end of everything might begin with her. From Phoenix series writer Stephanie Phillips, who's joined by Giada Belviso, and we get a David Nakayama cover on A. Francesco Mobili Revelation variant. Ivan Talavera, very nice. All for Binary #1. That's a Ricky Yagawa. I don't think that's the last one. I guess it is. All right, Binary #1. Nice. October 8th. Replacing the Laura Kinney Wolverine series will be this Age of Revelation series featuring the all-new Sabretooth. X years later, she's taken the name of once bitter enemy Sabretooth and fights beside Revelation himself. Why did Laura Kinney abandon her legacy? And what secrets does she keep from the mutant world? When loyalty changes, blood means everything. Laura Kinney Sabretooth #1 is set for release on October 8th and has fantastic covers by Elena Casagrande, Anand Ramcharan. I like that. That's nice. Dan Jerkins, Pablo Villalobos, and Ricky Yagawa character variant, all for Laura Kinney Sabretooth #1, available on October 8th. Hey, it's Long Shots #1. I don't think this is replacing anything. Buy this comic or all of your favorite heroes will die. 10 years, X years later, and Mojo's got a new game for Wonder Man, Hellcat, Bishop, Rhino, and Kraven to play. There are no rules. One survivor wins, the others die. Mojo promises you can vote for the winner with your dollars, but you probably can't. Mojo cannot promise that any of this is true or that you can even vote, as all decisions will be made by Mojo and Mojo alone. In this Mojo Dojo, it's fame or fatality in the wildest X book of the year, written by Jerry Duggan with interior art by Alan Robinson and this super weird Dustin Weaver cover. Look, there's Longshot. David Baldion. Ken Lashley. Wait a second here. Yep. Ricky Agawa character for Longshot's #1. Let's get that weird cover back up here. By Jerry Duggan, Alan Robinson, available on October 8th. And that does it for our Spotlights on. That's every #1 that I could show you this week on Last Call. And you've got until Monday at noon, September 8th, to order these. Let me get rid of that. To order these fine products at the counter or through Comichub. But before I let you go, let's do a quick review of some events that we've got coming up on the horizon. We'll get there. You'll see. The first event to show you today is coming up on September 15th. It's Brain Candy number 72, featuring the music of Mar Brisa, poetry from Wafa Mustafa, prose from Christine Hume, and the visual art of Michaela Ryback. This is presented by the Emerging Writers Network, open and free at Green Brain Comics on the first Monday of the month. I'm sorry. The third Monday of the month. That's September 15th at 7 p.m. And after that, we've got Batman Day coming up. On September 20th, we're going to be giving away some free Batman comics. We're going to have some limited edition Batman Day Batman comics available. And it'll be great. We'll probably do some sales. You'll love it. All day, Saturday, September 20th. And then we got Local Comic Shop Day coming up. Kind of the same thing, but for all the publishers to participate in. This is going to feature some limited edition releases for retail sale. Lots of interesting projects, short runs, and premieres. It all happens on Saturday, September 27th. Shop local, shop comics. For more information, check out localcomicshopday.com. And join us back here on YouTube Tuesday at 6:30 for BRAINSCAN. We do a walking tour of Green Brain Comics on the eve of New Comic Book Day, show you all the great releases on the shelf, and talk to you about all the great things happening around the store. And one of those things just happened. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to the Sean Peacock in-store signing to celebrate the release of Blood Honey, the new one-shot from the IDW Dark imprint. It was a great time seeing Sean again, having him in for his first big publisher release party. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and showing support. And thanks, everybody, for showing support by watching Final Order Report. It's your last call for orders, due Monday, September 8th. Yeah, maybe I'll just leave it there. All right, so thanks for joining me for the Final Order Report. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. We are Green Brain Comics on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All the links to our shopping cart website and Comichub are below in the description. Music for the episode provided by Brainstem Productions. We are spreading the love of comic books and graphic novels from the heart of East Downtown Dearborn since 1985. Feed your brain at Green Brain Comics. Thanks for watching, folks. emanating from deep under the earth, spreading across the globe at the speed of thought, changing the world one brain at a time. This is the Final Order Report from Green Brain Comics.